What is up, everybody? Joshua Cook. It is Cooking with D-Sil, episode 3, August 17th, 2022, live and in prime time. Wherever you are, however you're listening, thanks for tuning in here on Twitter Live. We're going to let a few more people get in. Dennis Silva II has arrived, everybody. He is here. He is ready to go. D-Sil, you know what we're talking about this week.
That's right, the good old hashtag TXHSFB.
Oh man, you got to shout from the roof. We're talking about Texas high school football. Woo!
That's
Uh,
that time of
big
year.
news. Big news early in the show, Dennis. We got breaking news. Actually, breaking news into the newsroom. You ready for this?
I am.
I don't know if everyone's ready for this, but today we officially sent off to press the 2022 VYPE Houston football preview, the 100-page football preview that previews every football team in the greater Houston area, all 6A, 5A, 4A districts, including private school, the All VYPE team, the Hot 100, amazing cover stories. Whew. It's done, Dennis. It's off to the presses.
It is. It's what 3 months of blood, sweat, and tears. Maybe not so much blood, but sweat and tears for sure.
No, there's a lot of sweat and tears.
I can't wait for it.
The blood comes once it gets here and we paper cut ourselves.
There you go.
Just saying. That's what's going to happen there. No, it went off to press today. For people wondering, it should get here into the city late next week, early week 2 of the season. So a little bit later than we wanted to, but all of our content from the magazine is rolling out right now on VYPE.com. If you haven't noticed, districts 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 6A. Those previews are available now on VYPE.com. 22, 23, and 24 6A, and our 6A rankings. Preseason will come out tomorrow. Be sure to go tune in to VYPE.com to get that information. So it's going to be exciting stuff. I think I've seen it. First off, the cover looks amazing. All the stuff inside looks amazing. Amazing photography. It's just awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's. My favorite magazine easily of the year. The volleyball magazine was great, but the football just with just how much information there is, the feature stories, how many kids are in there, how many teams are in there. It's just, it's crazy when we look back and think that we were able to put something like that together. It's pretty awesome. I can't wait for everyone to read it. Can't wait for everyone to see it soon. Within the next 2 weeks for sure.
Yep, next 2 weeks it'll be here. You can still go to VYPEshop.com or shopvype.com. I can't remember. It's one of the two. You can pre-order your magazine so you can get it mailed directly to your house, so you don't have to go worry about looking around for it. If not, then once it gets in town, it'll be available at Freddy's frozen yogurts frozen steak burgers and custard, whatever they're called. Freddy's, one of our proud sponsors. Probably shouldn't keep that as a recording. Probably need to get rid of that. So we're talking Texas high school football. Tonight we are joined by our special guest tonight is Ian Flint of Katie Taylor, Theoren Randall of Shadow Creek, both amazing guys. And Dennis, excited to have those guys on Cooking with D-Sil. I think we're going to get started with Ian Flint of Katie Taylor, the tight end. So we're going to get him in here to be a speaker once I can figure out how to do that.
Yeah, he had a great summer, great offseason. His recruiting profile just continues to rise. True sports stud, football, track and field. He plays sixth in the discus at the state meet, the 6A state meet in the spring, and he's gonna be one of the top prospects at tight end, or is it? He already is one of the top prospects at tight end. Has offers from Houston, Kansas, Rice, UTSA, and those numbers are only going to go up. He's going to have. I'm very excited to see what Mr. Flint has in store.
How big did you say he was?
6'4", 230.
Woo! Sign me up today. Run that as my tight end all day long. With that being said, Ian Flint, he is a speaker. He is a guest on Cooking with D-Sil. Ian, how are you doing this evening, my man?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing good.
Welcome to Cooking with D-Sil. What's the summer been like? Camps, offers, the whole thing. What's it been like for you?
It was an amazing summer. I was able to go to a bunch of schools, learn from college coaches, and as well as pick up a few offers.
What's it like? I mean, playing the tight end position. I mean, we've really seen the kind of the trickle down effect. Like it's really emerged as a big time, prime time position in the National Football League. You got guys like Travis Kelsey, Rob Gronkowski, guys like that, and it's trickled down. I mean, have you? First off, who do you like watching at tight end, and have you kind of seen the excitement kind of grow around the tight end position with those guys and what they've been able to do at the NFL?
Yeah, it's an amazing position. I'm really happy that I'm able to fit the role. I've always watched Gronk growing up. That's the person who I watch on the highlights every Friday before the game, and it's a position that requires a lot of grit because we're not getting thrown the ball every play, and we don't expect it. But we're here to make the run game better as well as the pass game.
Ian, like we mentioned, you're a two sports star. Can you tell me how track and field, and specifically just you as a thrower, you do the discus and shot put, how that complements your football as far as some of the ways that maybe the outsiders might not know how they complement each other, or how they prepare you, how one sport prepares you for the other?
It just shows how much athleticism one has because in discus and shot put you need a lot of athleticism, which comes with that hang clean and the how powerful your legs are, and you're able to show how much you have that in football, and it contributes straight to track.
Getting ready for this season, what are some of the things you worked on specifically in the off season to get ready for what's going to be? I mean, the junior year is always essential. So, how do you prepare for that? What were some of the work that you put in to get ready for what should be a big year for you?
We spent a lot of time on my hand placement in the blocking game, as well as getting free in space for the pass game.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the intricacies of tight end. Like maybe for people who don't know much about the position, or don't see anything that's really outside of the field. What is it like to play tight end? What are some of the things you have to adjust to? What are some of the things you have to learn? What's key to like being a successful tight end like you are?
You, I, you got to be able to know what the offensive line is doing at all times, mainly with the running back and where he's going to go, as well as you got to know what the wide receivers are planning on doing. So it's just you got a lot to learn, and you got to take it in quick because you got one of the biggest roles on the field besides the quarterback.
What are some of your personal expectations for yourself just going into the season and for the team, but really for yourself? Obviously, a big junior year, obviously recruiting wise for you. So, what are some of the things you want to see from yourself?
I'm always looking forward to some mean blocks as well as good catches. But as you know, our team went 2-8, and I'm here to make sure that this team is on a upward movement. So I'm doing whatever the team needs to make sure that we come out more successful than last year.
Just talk about this district too. I mean, it's so competitive from top to bottom. What's it like being in this KDISD district?
It is it is fun. You get to look forward to playing guys that are already NFL caliber and Bryce, but you get college caliber guys and Jonathan Hall and Tayshawn Wilson. It's just really fun, and it feels more of a college than even high school because we got big stadiums, we got big crowds. There's so much going on in Katy.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Katie Taylor and like the history of the guys that have come through there, and you think about Bryce and you think about Connor. Are you trying to like leave a legacy like those guys, not only on the football field but also in track and field season too, being successful in both sports?
I am definitely able to have as many accolades as they were able to accomplish.
All right. Well, he is Ian Flynn. He is the tight end. It was Katie Taylor. Must say that it starts soon, man. It's next week. Are you ready for the season?
Yes, sir. We got Ridge Point scrimmage tomorrow. We're gonna go have some fun over there. Then we're gonna turn around and prepare for the Cy Woods. I couldn't tell you their mascot.
All right, man. Well, Ian Flint, the tight end of those Katie Taylor Mustangs. Hey, man, thanks for the time tonight and appreciate it. And best of luck this season. And maybe we'll catch up with you later this season. We'll definitely catch up with you in track season when discus season comes around.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
All right, that's Ian Flint, the tight end of Katie Taylor. Man, just talk about him a little bit more, Dennis. Give us a little bit more insight on him and what people can expect from him this season.
Yeah, well, I think he kind of mentioned it, just how athletic he is, right? And he comes from his dad, Darren, does a real great job as far as training some of these athletes on this side of Houston. Bryce Foster was someone who worked a lot with Darren, his dad, and you kind of see Ian kind of have the same path as far as his discipline, his work ethic, just how much effort and time and study that he puts into not only the football field but track and throwing. He throws the discus and the shot put, so he's busy year round, and it's just admirable to see these multi-sport stars and their commitment and the dedication to the craft. So kids like Ian, like that stuff shows up, and that stuff will show on the field just how much time he's put in this summer. And I'm excited to see how Katie Taylor plans to get him more involved. He's a great blocker. He's great in the run game. He can catch on the move. He's just one of those big physical bodies um, that can do it all at the tight end. He's your prototypical tight end. That's exactly why he's got the offers that he's got so far after 2 years and after a standout sophomore year at the varsity level. And now he's going to go into a big junior year and a big year for recruiting. And I'm very excited to see just what comes out of this.
It'll be interesting. Hey, as we're going along here, we'll do a little Q&A session kind of at the end of the show. If you have any questions about the upcoming season or what our thoughts are on teams or players or anything like that, drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comment on the tweet, and we'll get to those Q&As at the end of the show. So go comment on the tweet, and we'll see those questions, and we'll go and answer those at the end of the show. So our next guest of the night is Theoren Randall, Shadow Creek, Washington State commit. He's in the house, everybody. The Shark is ready. Theoren, are you there, my man?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Hey, 1 week away, Manville, Shadow Creek, Battle 288. How hyped are you? Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. The whole team prepared. We just ready to go wreck them.
Y'all were ready from the moment that game was announced.
Oh yeah. As soon as the game was announced, I know my phone blew up full of trash talk. I'm just ready to go play.
How? Because that happened in alignment. I remember that. It was alignment, and there was talk, and it was like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do Battle 288, and we put the tweet out, like, hey, it's happening. And, I mean, it went off. And
Yeah.
just what's it like being a part of a game that there has been, 6 months worth of trash talk going on?
Yeah. Well, really, it really started with the older guys because they're really excited for us because they didn't get to play that game and they always wanted it. So really, it's just it's a bigger chip on our shoulder for us to do it for the guys before us.
How do you feel going into this season? I mean, Shadow Creek, it feels like y'all have, this is a program that won a state championship a few years ago. You make the move up to 6A, kind of the move that Katie Pato's making now. They win a state championship in 5A, they make the move up to 6A. What did y'all learn about playing 6A ball when you made the move up?
6A, I mean, to me, it was really the same. It just, I mean, you don't really see no more smaller people on the line no more. Everybody's big, and really, I think the pace goes kind of faster, and 5A kind of slows down a little bit because not everybody can move like how 6A does.
Theo, like Ian, you're a two sports star too. You did well in the discus last year at the regional meet. I think you placed fifth. But can you just tell me about just how do you handle that? How do you handle playing two sports and excelling in two sports? And tell me a little bit of the commitment and the dedication and what it takes to kind of do both.
Track it requires a lot, I will say that. It's very hard, but it's also very helpful because track it gives you so much explosion. I know one time I was throwing and a college coach came by and he was seeing me throw. He was like, "Ooh, I like your explosion." Track really just helps a lot with football. It really correlates, but it's very hard to manage. Like this summer, I went to AAU Junior Nationals, and I was there while the team. So I mean, it's some controversy, but it's very helpful in there.
Yeah. Going into this season, what did you work on over the summer, and what ways do you think you'll be a better player this year compared to last year?
When I worked over the summer, I was really trying to develop a better pass rush,
Mhm.
not only at the end spot but also at nose, just working everywhere. And that was really a big thing for me because my pass rush, it was good last year, but it could have been way better. And go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh, but yeah, I was really just trying to enhance my pass game. And last year, I had a lot of tackles, but I also missed a lot of tackles. So this year, we're just gonna try to wrap up more, make some more tackles, make some more plays.
I think when it comes to like student athletes in high school, it gets lost. You're going to your senior year, and obviously it's your last year of playing sport at the high school level, but it's also just your last year of high school, and before you
Yeah.
go on to the next chapter, the next stage in college. Are you, when it's your senior year like it is now, and it's 1 week away from you playing your last first game as a high school football player? Is it anxiety? Is it nerves? Is it excitement? What are you feeling?
I'm excited because I get the number one opportunity. My first game on TV. We play Manville Battle 288.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be sold out from what I'm hearing. So I'm very excited, not only for the
Oh,
football,
I'm
but
sure.
for my senior year. It's very fun. So I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game. Battle 288, Manville, Shadow Creek next week, and man, just talk about some other people on your defense with you. You know, you got Zion Taylor, you got Maurice Williams in the back. I mean, y'all's defense is gonna be pretty salty this year, the way it looks.
Yes, sir. We're stacked from DB to lineman. We got air, but we got the dream team. We just got to make it work.
What's it like going up against your offense every day? I mean, you got Duke Butler back there running at QB. Just what's it like running against your offense every single day?
It's definitely tough. We challenge each other every day. I mean, they win some days, we win some days. We go at it every day. It's so competitive, and that's what you need trying to win a state championship.
You're committed to Washington State. We talked about that a little bit this summer. Just talk about that again. Just what made that home for you? How excited are you to head up there?
Oh, I'm very excited. Coach K, I seen him at the SMU camp. He was like, "Yo, we need to get you on the visit." Took the visit. The Palouse, that's like the nickname for Pullman. The Palouse is just a very great place, great people. I don't know if I told you this story, but on my OV, we went to like this little bowling alley, and I never really didn't think much of it, but I seen some fans, did some autograph stuff, so it was a surreal moment for me. And then meeting Coach Dickert, he signed a 5-year deal, so it just made it simple.
How big is that when you do see like a coach, sign an extension? And I know a lot of people say don't just go there for the coach, but just talk about your relationship with him and what like it to play for him.
I feel like it's gonna be amazing. Me and Coach Dickert, we've been talking. I want to say we talked a little bit at the last game, and then he got the head coaching job, so we just established a greater connection.
Well, perfect. Well, that is Theoren Randall. He is the defensive end for Shadow Creek. Shadow Creek Manville next week, Friday Night Lights, under the big lights. And I know you're excited. The whole community excited. Sold out stadium. I mean, you can't ask for more than that to start your senior year, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Hey, we appreciate the time. Good luck this season, and we'll catch up with you down the road.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, bud.
All right. That's Theoren Randall. Defensive end, defensive tackle, 6'3", 265, 3-star, committed to Washington State University. Yeah, I mean, Dennis, that defense is gonna be salty. Him and Zion coming from both ends. I mean, you got to pick who you're gonna, handle on that line, and pick your poison.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's a lot of talent on that end. The offense, like you mentioned with Duke, calling the shots over there is going to be good. That game you talk about for a week one season opener. Doesn't really get much better than that. With Manville and Shadow Creek, two rivals like that.
Yeah, and we'd be remiss if we didn't say this. Next Friday night, Dennis, and so everyone knows we've been doing the KPRC 2 volleyball game of the week. We've had two great matchups. That's back again next week. Bridgeland at Lake Creek volleyball on Tuesday night. That'll be the KPRC 2 volleyball game of the week. But then next week, Dennis, we get to kick off, in literal terms, the KPRC 2 football game of the week, powered by VYPE. It will be the Katy Tigers at the Clear Springs Chargers from Challenger Stadium on Friday night. You can watch that on Houston.com or the KPRC2 Plus app. Myself and Matt Malatesta will be on the call of that game. And I can tell you, I am very, very excited to get back at the broadcast booth and have that one as the kickoff game for KPRC.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Just a lot of, for week one, just a lot of really great games. You have Chris Springs, like we said, Tompkins, Cy Ranch. We already mentioned Manville and Shadow Creek. I know I'm missing some others just right offhand, but there's week one's going to be fun. Week one is going to be a blast.
Yeah, you've got Dickinson traveling to Atascocita. That'll be a quality matchup between two programs that have seen each other in the playoffs that play in Region 3. You've got Cy Ranch taking on Katy Tompkins. Katy Tompkins, into kind of the Wyatt Young era will start at quarterback, and we'll see what they do and how they use him and all the pieces over there. Ashton Funk on the offensive line. Cy Ranch looks like the team to beat in 16-6A. They got the pieces. Blake Barker at quarterback, Ashton Porter, Brathwaite. They got pieces up and down that team. So a lot of fun matchups. And then, week 2, you've got Atascocita taking on Katy. These teams, I tell you what, Dennis, they are not afraid to throw punches early in the, not literal, but have heavyweight non-district fights because they know that's what's coming in the playoffs. Like, they know, hey, we could see Dickinson in the playoffs. We could see a Katy in the playoffs, but we're going to play you early. And North Shore's opening against the Woodlands. That's going to be the VYPE Thursday night showdown. By the way, you can watch that on AT&T Sportsnet next week with Todd Freed and Matt Malatesta. And that's a huge game. And that's North Shore, the defending state champions, taking on the Woodlands, which there's a lot of hype around the Woodlands, 13-6A, Mabry Matower. The talent that they have there. North Shore, the freshman quarterback, is back as a sophomore, and Caleb Bailey. David Amador comes in as a senior. Defensively, they've got pieces all at corner and safety. So there's a lot of exciting games. We could go on and on. We could talk all night about this.
We got like C.E. King and Crosby, and then, Ridgepoint and Westlake.
Here's the thing. Ridgepoint has a chance to go on the road and send a message, not just to the Houston area, but to the state of Texas. If you go into Westlake's house and you beat Westlake, who's won, by the way, 3 straight state championships, 2 at the Division I level.
Yeah.
That's a message.
Especially
with the offseason they've had and some changes here and there. And, DK Kalu commits to Baylor in the offseason. He was kind of hurt last season. He could have a breakout game in game 1 because people are kind of, I think, overlooking him a little bit because he was hurt last year.
I agree. I think people are kind of overlooking Ridgepoint as a whole, but I think they want it that way, right? Their team motto, unfinished business, right? And I think they don't mind going overlooked. They feel they have a lot to prove on the field, and they get a chance right away. Against Austin Westlake, that's a crazy, crazy game. I can't wait for that one either.
Austin Westlake, new quarterback, new head coach, as Todd Dodge literally rode off into the sunset as a state champion last year. So that will be a primetime awesome matchup as well. If anyone has any questions, anyone wants us to answer anything, you can drop it in the comments. If not, Dennis, final thoughts tonight from you on episode 3 of Cooking with D-Sil?
No, I think it went well. Real thankful to our guests tonight, Mr. Randall and Mr. Flint. They were awesome. Gave us some insight to the summer and recruiting and, being 2 sport standouts like they are. That's always pretty impressive, always admirable to see. And can't wait. Week 1 is just about a week, almost a little more, about a week a day, 1 days away.
Yeah, week 1 kicks off a week from tomorrow. We'll run it down for you again. Next Thursday night, AT&T Sportsnet. It will be the VYPE Thursday night showdown. The Woodlands travels to North Shore, the defending 6A Division I champions. Matt Malatesta and Todd Freed will have the call of that game. Friday night, myself and Matt Malatesta will make the trip down to Challenger Stadium to watch the Katy Tigers and their massive fan base roll in and see if Anthony Renfro's Clear Springs Chargers can play spoiler to the start of the season for the state semifinalists from a year ago. That game you can watch on click2houston.com, the KPRC2 Plus app. And then don't forget next Tuesday night, Bridgeland at Lake Creek, the KPRC2 volleyball game of the week is also going to be on click2houston.com. So we cover it all, Dennis. We got live broadcasts. We got magazines. We got Twitter Spaces shows. What else can we think of?
That sounds good for now. I'm pretty good with that.
He's good.
Step by step.
He's good with that. All right, with that, we'll end this week's show. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Big thanks to Theoren Randall of Shadow Creek, Ian Flint of Katie Taylor. We have recorded this episode so you can go back to our Twitter account at VYPE Houston, listen to this over and over, retweet it, give it a like, drop in a comment, tell us if you like the show, rate the show, give us your comments, and we will see everybody back here same time next week, 8 o'clock on Twitter Spaces at VYPE Houston. For my co-host, Dennis Silva II, I'm Joshua Cook, VYPE Media Managing Editor. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next Wednesday night back here with Cooking with D-Sil. Good night, everybody.